Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Touch Uncensored. I'm enjoying myself because for too long I've been wanting to have conversations that are genuinely uncensored. And what are they? They are conversations that are not securing the bag. Because, we live in a world where people are too sensitive. There are certain words that have been removed from the vocab. We can't use words like fat. You can't use words. It's a lot. It's too much. People are just sensitive. Everybody's going through that era. Don't say that word. Don't say this. We are becoming less human. The idea of being human is to take things, even if it's inconvenient for you or it's somehow offensive, we have to balance with the idea that not everybody is going to validate you, or not everybody's going to embrace you. There are things people by nature are going to say to you, and it's going to come across condescending. It's who we are as humans. You must understand that people speak whenever you express yourself. There's an inner turmoil that you are projecting, and I'm not responsible for that turmoil. I'm not. Now, since I know I'm not responsible for the turmoil that's happening inside of you, why should it bother me when you projecting what you're struggling with? Do you know how many people are struggling with themselves and you expect validation from people who will not validate themselves? It's over. Forget it. Forget it. You gotta get to a point in life where you're happy to wake up in the morning and say, whoa, out of 10, only 4 people said something offensive to me. That's a compliment today. That's a compliment. Because society is at a point, everybody's at a tipping point. Society is at a point where we're dealing with failed ideas of what we want to pursue. A lot of people on social media are vicariously living through others, and you're not going to meet a group of people in probably 5 or 10 people all are content with who they are. There's true deficits in people's universe, and you are not responsible for it. You're not. So stop waiting or looking for people to find the wonder or see the greatness in you and expect them to treat you like you Alice in Wonderland. That's not where we are. I'll tell you where we are. We are at a point where we're bringing an end to a lot of arguments that have been fueled by unresearched opinions. People have felt just because they can express themselves, they have the right to decide who's great, who is average. I generally feel the argument between Messi and Ronaldo is over. I'll tell you about 2 arguments that I generally feel they've come to an end. Who's the greatest rapper of all time? It goes without saying. It goes without saying. But let's talk about Lionel Messi, Ronaldo. We're going to talk about some of the local news as well. Local by geographical location. I mean, South Africa. Thank you if you're watching across wherever you are. South Africa is a center stage. I mean, it's beautiful. You love the gift and the curse that is dominating our headlines. It's insane how some of the truth is getting unfolded. You look at things that you never thought will ever come to fruition. Like, yeah, I said it a week ago. The newsrooms now in a lot of news agencies don't even have to work hard anymore. They don't even research anymore. It's just popping. You live in an era where it's you don't have to research news. Everything is news. Everything is news. I mean, look at what's happening in Iran. It's 8 days of the U.S. bombing back to back to back, and Germany, France are saying, Iran, come back to negotiations, and Iran is saying no. Yeah. We're going to talk about when you fly to Doha as well, what to expect on your phone. I'll tell you more about that. But let's end this argument today. Ladies and gentlemen, we can officially say Lionel Messi is the greatest of all time. Respect to Ronaldo. He's done so much. I think Ronaldo's contributed a lot. I mean, the amount of influence Ronaldo has enjoyed around the world by demonstrating his craft impeccably so in 5 different leagues, you have to respect him. You have to. I give it to him. I generally do. See, Ronaldo is it's like that spy agent who is KGB and lived in the UK or lived in the US, became CIA, and he blended so well, and he moved to South Africa, became NIA, and he did it very well. You were convinced he's South African, and then he moves to Nigeria, and he blends in so well, he makes you even doubt yourself. Like, he sets the bar. If Ronaldo was to be compared to, he is so, we have to respect his influence throughout the world, how even in English Premier League, in Italy, his legacy as well in Saudi Arabia, hometown Portugal, that's Ronaldo. We give it to you, okay? You've played in areas Lionel Messi has never played. But numbers is why arguments sometimes are brought to extinction. It's a numbers game. And at this point, Messi is printing numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT is doing it again. This final, Spain versus Argentina. People are saying, well, it was orchestrated for Messi to get to the final. How? I don't think any of these referees have that kind of power. I don't see it in them. I don't even see it in Donald Trump. I don't see it in anyone. You cannot orchestrate a team that can score 2 goals with 7 minutes left against one of the best teams in the world. I mean, what they did, this argument of games are rigged, is for people who like sitting in social spaces and they're running out of alcohol or they're running out of whatever it is. Like, you see that we need to come up with something, because clearly the food is done, drinks are over, and now you're just running miles. You're just making talk for the sake of running the clock. Can we just agree? Give Messi his respect, thanks to his predecessors, Maradona. Shout out to the fact that he acknowledges him also throughout his journey. And I think that is the principle of sustainable success, how you manage to thrive through eras from 2000. I mean, Messi has been dominating for a while. But, there's something special about people who are at their peak and they don't take all the glory. They understand that somebody paved the way for them to be there. And that's been the thread with Messi. Check out his interviews. Look at his respect for Maradona. Even when Maradona was coaching them in South Africa, when Maradona was here in 2010, Messi was still subservient to the fact that this man is the reason why I am the future GOAT. And now that he's the present GOAT, shout out. How the game's going to turn out, we don't know. What we do know is church was great today. A lot of people do treat church like car going for service. It's fine. We get it. And if you are replenished, fantastic. Now you are watching this show. Let's have an honest conversation, okay? I want to talk about R. Kelly finally say, President Donald Trump, please consider the fact that R&B is dying, if not dead. He's not in denial of the fact that he's an offender and he's serving time. But R. Kelly, like how Batman wants to save Gotham City, this is the rescue. This is the rescue. And for everybody who has said what they want to say about R. Kelly. The man is serving time. There are a lot of people who are being pardoned, and it's the president's prerogative who he pardons. We get that. R. Kelly saying, my 30-year sentence, President Donald Trump, look into it. While you're looking into it, please play I Believe I Can Fly. Please play, because let me ask you this. Say what you want. I genuinely think people have exhausted their playlist. R&B needs the savior. You are probably wondering why Donald Trump is considering not to pardon. He's not asking for a pardon, by the way. Okay? Pull up that story.
We have learned disgraced R&B star R. Kelly has now formally asked President Trump to commute his 30-year sentence for sexual misconduct convictions. Kelly was convicted in 2022, and last year he filed for an immediate release in prison, saying his life was in danger. His lawyer also made a public plea to President Trump for a pardon, but never formally filed for one.
Are you trying to tell me, when you listen to I Believe I Can Fly, never in your mind you had a grain of thought to possibly fly? You trying to tell me that song never moved you? Heaven, I Need a Hug? Are you genuinely saying to me you've never played R. Kelly at any given point in time? When you were in college, when you were out, probably you just got dumped, you dealing with a breakup, or you in love. Are you saying forget some of the explicit? I'm not here to talk about the judgment has long been passed on R. Kelly. I'm asking you to search deep in your soul. Are you sitting on a Sunday afternoon, whatever day it is, are you saying to me, R. Kelly's craft has never ministered to you, that you listen to a song and you say, whoa, 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 what spirit has just descended upon me right now? I mean, I Believe I Can Fly. Do you understand the lyrics? Have you listened to that song? And do you think if the President of the United States is listening to it right now, because his lawyers have just submitted, and I think they have a strong argument to raise with trying to shorten his sentence. But the truth is, the only way I see Donald Trump agreeing to those terms is if he's listening, not to bump and grind. No. They will just resuscitate the whole case. My mind is telling me no, but my body is saying no. We're not talking about that R. Kelly. We're talking about the R. Kelly that you could play coming from church. You know that R. Kelly, Dance in the Name of Love? Dance in the Name of Love is the reason why you might see R. Kelly coming home soon. And I'm saying this to everybody who is a lover of R&B music. We sometimes in life, why we end up average is when we start giving a fish credit for swimming. You left with so less options that the mediocre you watching on whatever social platforms that you're streaming, we're going to get to a point where we start giving accolades to people who need to go back in studio and do more work. We don't have that extensive catalog to start thinking certain artists right now deserve R&B legendary status. I'm telling you. And no offense to anyone. I mean, listen, if you're an aspiring R&B artist, shout out to you. But the problem is we've been spoiled with the greatest of all time. We've had amazing artists who are no more. But I know God's gifts are without repentance. And who am I to judge R. Kelly? The man has served his time and he's saying, listen, you are in the business of forgiving people. I'm not asking for forgiveness. Just commute my sentence. That's all he's saying. And if you genuinely are honest with yourself, would you consider having R. Kelly back? Would you be amongst the first people to buy a ticket to his concert? If I told you R. Kelly's coming to a city near you and you are going through some divorce or you've been single for some time, look at the quality of courtship these days. Just look at it. First date. First date. Where are we going from here? On the first date, we already talking about taking it off. On the first date. Nobody's interested in investing in knowing who you are. You know, certain music helped us to be patient when we're going through courtship. We live in a world where relationships are treated like a drive-by. It's a drive-through. It's a drive-through. Can I have double quarter pounder with extra size BBL? We humans. Can we connect? Can we connect? Do you even know? Do you even know what I'm reading right now? Are you even following? Do you even know why I am single? Sometimes we don't even investigate in why people are single in the first place. Because what's palatable to the eye, you know, it's the cat's meow. I want it right now. That's what we live. That's the world today. And we rather find out later that you were the serial killer. Now, R. Kelly helped us in a lot of songs to understand that this thing called love is a journey. And you know when you are in that pending period where you don't know if you're in a relationship or not, but you listen to a lot of R. Kelly, it kind of helps you during that phase of ambiguity to say, hey, maybe this is going to be the love of my life. We need good music to improve the quality of patience in relationship. And I'm tired of the junk we're listening to. Okay, I'm looking at this catalog of R&B. If the man is still alive and President Donald Trump right now in the Oval Office is listening to I Believe I Can Fly, I believe you can pardon or commute the sentence. That's just me. That's just me. And with that said, what I'm not here to say what R. Kelly did should be acceptable. No. Because some people watch, sometimes they even just want to engage, they literally here to pick up errors. So you can go, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? And all of you group of hopeless, ain't got nothing to do with your life, but to look for errors in other people's life who got something going on, I'm saying to you, stop it. Stop it. The man is doing time as we speak right now, and we have R. Kelly alive. It's not like we're dealing with a situation where this conversation is regarding an artist who's no more. So let's just hope President Donald Trump is going to consider this request. And who knows? R. Kelly could be coming to a city near you. I mean, I will be happy to see the man, firstly, going to all his victims and asking for a true pardon. Because that executive pardon from the Oval Office means nothing if the victims have not healed or he has confronted them, genuinely and honestly asking them to forgive him. But when he does, if he guarantees them tickets to the show, it's quicker to forgive somebody if there's incentives. Yeah, it's kind of seamless when somebody say, you know what, I'm sorry. And you know, to show and demonstrate my sincerity in how bad I feel, here's a car. Here are the car keys. I'm really sorry for making fun of your shoes. You're no longer walking. Here are car keys. Pardon me. That's how it works. Forgiveness cannot just be lip service. If a man is caught doing, I don't know what it is, what you're going to apologize for, but you cannot accept an apology that does not have ribbons around it. An apology has to be, the incentive has to be far more expensive than the cost of the offense. That is the only way we believe that you're sorry. I borrowed somebody my car the other day. True story. And I'll never, ever, ever in my life borrow anybody my car. I borrowed somebody my car the other day, came back, and it had a scratch, a bad one. It was like a gate closed on it. What was rather offensive, was don't make me find out. Be forthcoming. You are likely to forgive somebody if they are forthcoming with their transgressions than you discovering You know, even women are quick to forgive if you are forthcoming. And men, excuse me. But the fact was, this person was in a position to even fix it. They said to me, but you got insurance, I'm sure they will fix it. What is that? Now, I can tell how you were raised up. When somebody gives you something and you return it and it's not in the conditions in which you found it. You see, I am not God. Only God can give R. Kelly the gift to sing. And R. Kelly goes through going to prison, goes through being ridiculed, canceled, all of that. And his first note he will ever hit still sounds the same. Because the gift that is upon R. Kelly is not decided by you when it expires. It is not societal's approval to determine the quality of the man's gift. It was embedded upon him before he got here. So whoever it is in the business of writing people off, unfortunately, there's no such a thing as writing somebody's gift. The man is going to come home one day, and you know what's crazy? He's going to sound exactly the same way. He made you turn on the shower, get in there, and imagine somebody or think you can sing like him. Because I'm the best singer myself in the shower, and everybody is. But his gift is not even diluted by what he's been through. Not an inch. I cannot wait to see the outcome of President Donald Trump's decision. By the way, good luck with that to all of his attorneys. And I'll say it. Everybody in life deserves a second chance. Except the Zama Zamas. I'm not, no. I generally think Zama Zamas are not going to see heaven. I'm convinced. If you've been to a funeral of anybody who's a Zama Zamas, by the way, Zama Zamas are people, just Google who Zama Zamas are. What level, to those two generals who lost their lives chasing these, I don't even know what to call them, we have a serious problem. To think that you can just blow dynamite underground, searching for minerals illegally, and it's a big business. Apparently, there are underworlds that are running this business. I mean, this is about the two generals that lost their lives. You imagine that the SANDF official, these are South African National Defense Force, lost their lives. Two men who served this country with pride. And speaking of serving with pride, you see, I'm a patriot. And I'm tired of talking about illegal immigration. I think right now we've got a good thing going on in the country. We've said, we've expressed the significance of coming in South Africa or any country legally with the right documentations. Enough with that. But I want to get this name right. Please pull up that article about this former Miss Universe Nigeria. Okay, so here's how it goes down. This gorgeous lady was deported, went back to her home country, Nigeria. God bless her soul. She had the courage to continue with her career as a professional beauty pageant. And she won. She won in her home country. She won. Congratulations. Chidimma Adetshina, congratulations. She won. Now, subsequent to her victory, obviously you're going to do interviews. You're going to be all over the world. She's Miss Universe Nigeria, as she should. She's gorgeous. We're not taking that away. But in some of her interviews, she vehemently stated she will never set her foot in South Africa, literally writing off the idea of going back to South Africa. She was so furious that South Africa deported me. I will never, ever, ever set my foot in SA. Well, fast forward, ladies and gentlemen, we know what happened. I don't have to tell you. She's been living in Cape Town and she was spotted living in Cape Town. Cool. You know what? Cape Town is nice. I love Cape Town. Cape Town is nice with its inequalities. It's a beautiful city. I told you this. But here's what I like to share with you. I'm not gonna get into the intricacies of the story. I picked up an article by my fellow colleagues at BBC. Now, the article is for the Jamaican audience. And I like to respect the Jamaicans living in South Africa. I want to respect the Jamaicans that are watching this show. If you are Jamaican right now, West Indies, and you're watching this, I'm going to respect you by verbatimly quoting this article. According to BBC, this is my respect for you. And by the way, I lived with a Jamaican family. And I respect them. I learned how to cook ackee, curry goat, rice and beans. I love my Jamaicans. So in my demonstration of respect for Jamaicans, I'm going to share with you how news were broken down. Okay? Shout out to the BBC, by the way. As a professional journalist, I gotta quote my source. Former Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidimma Adetshina, don't commit from Cape Town, original call from South Africa, you know. This now after she been showcased for a deportation case. Chidimma been trend after her withdrawal from Miss South Africa beauty pageant in 2024, yeah? Me say, the charges with him try her never did clear them Tory from South Africa say she they face deportation. Charges after all allegations say she entered the country illegally. Chidimma go to Cape Town Regional Court on a Thursday, where she spent the affidavit on them steps where she don't take no regularizer status for the country. South Africa 30% Pilani don't Bembe of Sunday Wild been report she been showcased for court on June 9. On June 9, she appeared for the Cape Town Regional Court after her arrest for the summer greens. Me not talking about them greens, no. Do not get the wrong idea about them greens, you know. But Madam Say being released after her court postponed the case to July 16 and in the Department of Home Affairs allow her to stay for them same address where them see her to pursue a deportation case. Can you believe that? She gonna stay at the same address. The same violation of being reinstated. Wow, me can't believe this, you know. Well, Tory be saying the court proceedings start around 2 p.m. local time where should they challenge the Department of Home Affairs accusers say she followed backyard, enter the country. Phew. Now, according to the Sunday World Court papers, where an immigration officer, Adrian Jackson, feeling them American authorities been arrested and detained her for June. Jackson say him didn't sabi Adetshina sake of one investigation way due before. After South African authorities been dumped Chidimma for December 24th in line with the Immigration Act, the beauty pageant queen no get legal right to stay in South Africa again. But Tory B says she entered the country by force after she lied about her nationality and followed the backyard, enter South Africa to the Limpopo border. Limpopo border, Bamba clot, Limpopo border, what in the happen now? Is the Limpopo border no gate now? The Limpopo border, can you not close them borders? What type of heap of foolishness is this? Yo, this a heap of foolishness, you know. Me can't believe what we just read now. Me, no way. You gonna tell me the Limpopo border no gate, no? What type of foolishness is that? Me gonna ask the Home Affairs Department, can you put the gate by the Limpopo border? Me personally gonna put the gate by the Limpopo border. I promise you. Me gonna put my own gate by the Limpopo border with my own money, you know. How can you believe that? I just read a whole heap of foolishness. Me don't feel good right now. Me can't even wait for the World Cup no more, knowing that the Limpopo border have no gate, you know. I sit here in the comfort of my couch, only find out man no border by the gate. Oh my. Now, check out this video. This is a video about Chidimma Adetshina, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just saying, Has the thought ever crossed your mind that maybe our deportation rules should be lenient to people who look a certain way? Or is it a blanket approach to everybody? I'm asking the question. I'm only asking. I mean, if you look a certain way and we see you, that staying is actually working for the ultimate bigger picture. Because, we want to have a population of people who will win future beauty pageants. We want to see the future Miss Universe coming from South Africa. Should the deportation rule apply to everybody universally? If you look a certain way and you are of particular genes, should we probably amend the rules? Amending. I'm not saying they don't apply. They are just more lenient. I don't know how you're going to find this if you're watching this right now and you look yourself in the mirror and you say, honestly, does this apply to me? Because the only person who can be true to yourself is you. All I'm speaking for, I'm advocating for South Africa to keep winning these beauty pageants. We already got enough inventory of beautiful people. Don't get me wrong. South Africa is the most beautiful woman in the world, and that's a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact. However, I've never seen a cake changing its texture because you're adding more icing on it. Home Affairs, are you watching? Maybe. Should we be, when you go to immigration, should Home Affairs officials, when they arrest you with no documentations, say, you know what? You're a 9. Think about it. It's a thought. I never said we should. I'm just saying, does it cross your mind? Has it ever crossed your mind? You look at someone, and beauty pageants put countries on the map, by the way. Beauty pageants too. And I generally believe that we have enough inventory. We can win with or without anybody coming into our country, mixed nationalities. No. I'm not here for that. I'm just saying, imagine in a world where you look at someone and you work at the airport, and before you stamp their passport, you're like, what? I mean, think about it. Pretty privilege is real. Pretty privilege is real. Don't come for me like I'm speaking. Don't look at me like Alice in Wonderland. Pretty privilege is real. There are people who, when they arrive at immigration, the immigration officers don't even ask, what are you doing? How long? They're like, hey. And you know that African smile that, the Bob Jacob Zuma one, that laugh, that, hey, it's hot outside. You even forget as an official, you're supposed to execute your responsibility with flair, respecting the fact that you're in a uniform. I genuinely believe pretty privilege is real. I've seen it in action where somebody will say, oh my goodness, I love her work. No, stop lying. You love her looks. You even in a workplace, there are people who advance. You know how extremely talented you have to be for you. Ladies, and I'm saying for ladies, is pretty privilege not real? I could be wrong. Record labels, before they sign you, they check your physique. You might be the best vocalist out there. They will recommend a nutritionist if there are certain things that need to be panel beated. Pretty privilege is real. Take it how you want. Should we try and say, we're gonna let you stay for 7 days No, actually, what I'm thinking is wrong. No, rules must apply to everybody. I take it back. But check the video, by the way.
Former Miss South Africa finalist and Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidimma Adetshina, is continuing her fight to stay in the country. Adetshina appeared in the Cape Town Regional Court today after her arrest for entering the country illegally. Adetshina first made headlines when she was forced to withdraw from the Miss South Africa pageant in 2024. Home Affairs later alleged that her mother had committed identity theft to gain South African citizenship. Adetshina was declared a banned person, but she entered the country through the Bombo border post, and she was arrested in June after she was traced to the mother city. The beauty queen has now submitted an affidavit to the court outlining the steps that she is taking to legalize her stay in the country. The prosecution is expected to submit a replying affidavit before the case resumes on Monday.
Now, I saw this video about these two guys driving in their car, probably went to go service the BM, and the security was asking them questions that they deemed to be irrelevant. Now this video was circulating, and the community got together. They raised 30,000 rands. Yeah, beautiful. I love it. I love it when society works. I love the idea of community coming together to fight a particular cause. But I genuinely want you to be honest with yourself. Have you ever been asked by security entering any place? Like, have you ever driven anywhere and security asks you questions and you feel provoked to just want to ask them, like, what does this got to do? What does this got to do? Like, I don't know if you've been in that position where you are visiting someone. I mean, here's the worst case. I went to my house the other day. As a landlord, I went to my house and my tenants just moved out. So they updated their biometric system, and I'm trying to access the house because I need to check the conditions in which they live the house. But I didn't have the latest biometric system installed in my car. The security at a house in an estate where I have a house asked me, what is the reason of trying to access my property? I said, I live here. The house is in my name. I said, that's not enough. That's not enough. Why are you here? Now I have to explain why I'm going to a property that's in my name. Put that aside. Do you know at that point, if I'm having a bad day and somebody happens to record me on camera, I'm going to say things that might offend people, including the security guard. What I'm trying to say, what these two guys did is wrong. What the guys did is wrong. And I'm not here for the content. I'm not here to deal with the merits of the video. What I do know, we've all been frustrated by that particular guard who will interrogate you, ask you, what is your credit score? Did you open an account last year, December, just to make sure the kids can go to church on first Sunday? They will ask you questions that are irrelevant with that particular engagement. And you will think most of these security officials, they probably go to the same school and they graduate from the same curriculum, because there's got to be a way we psychologically program ourselves just to have a dialogue. Some of them, they just want to talk and they will do whatever it is just to talk. I go through it a lot. I get to a point where sometimes I'm having a bad day. Have you ever had a bad day and you're visiting your mom and you want to just say, I'm coming to unit 65. Would you please open? What's your name? My name is Touch. Okay, hold on. Excuse me, we got Touch at the gate, unit 65. Yes, open. Boom. Have a good day. No. That's not the reality. That's not what you go through these days. Security is trained to ask you, as you approach the gate, they first look at you. They look and say, can I see your ID? You pull out your ID and say, no, hold it the other way around. You hold it the other way around, like, no, look at me. And if you are on the phone, you dare be on the phone dealing with security guard, you will not see your way through. You have to be humble, make cheap talk, pretend like you are a fan of the same team, talk about how the sun is, like you gotta make, and that's called being humble? What if I need a bathroom? I'm pressed, and maybe right now, all I want, if I got credentials, is for you to open a gate. What's wrong with that? I understand you have a job where it's getting monotonous to do this 55 times, but I'm not just a number. I'm not just a number. I've given you my ID. I've shown you what I'm here for. Can you just, if you verified, why are you still holding me back? What is it? You know, being humble should not be circumstantial. It should be who we inherently are. And this idea that, no, be nice to them, you know what I mean? I'm not saying be mean, but generally speaking, let's be reminded we are in our professional space. I have to fulfill, there's fulfillment in me producing the right credentials, and there's you allowing me to access wherever I'm going. I need access. Whether you like my shirt or not, I've given you everything you want. Now, this video, these guys, if you got money, you don't tell people that you're a millionaire. I've never seen that. You don't do that voluntarily. And if you're doing it for the sake of mocking or making somebody feel inferior about themselves, that is just wrong. That is the deepest level of insecurity. Now, just so you understand, let's go to the video. Check it out.
First, you don't ask where we are. We know where we are going.
Aku baca contoh exotic problem sini.
Kau ni millionaire conjang.
Hey.
Kau ni multi-millionaire conjang.
Hey, bro.
Snap kashu zo washi moto. Mas triti kanzi. This is not your BMW. Benzo kuchela kutambo business. Imane chuchela kuti yini. Yeah, you must know your job, mate. What the fuck do you think you're talking to?
These niggas, they're crazy, man.
Yeah, BMW.
Where are we going?
You, man. Go yourself.
We are at BMW Capital Park, man, you know.
You're asking where.
We are the ones who bought the car. When now you just work here, you don't even know.
You'll never own a BMW.
You don't even know what are the departments here.
Yeah,
you want to
asking
exercise
where we
power.
going. We are telling you we know where we are going. Call your manager. Tell him that I want to enter you.
People are crazy, man.
Now, to anybody traveling, it's really, really, really sad where we are today. Because if you look at how we used to look forward to the excursion and, you know, the idea of being in another country. If you travel specifically to the Middle East, I didn't know this till this past 2 days. Do you know while you are sitting in a beautiful lounge, first class, business class, wherever you are, your phone is constantly receiving bomb alerts. The world has gone crazy. We live in an era. Messages that are coming on your phone is bomb alerts. You're sitting on transit, connecting to wherever, and you are saying to yourself, whoa, 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 whoa. At any given time, I might not be able to continue with my trip. I'm not saying don't travel to that part of the world. By the way, I only travel, I'm Emirates, Qatar. I love my Middle East transits because you put a lot of efforts in attracting tourists. But the shocker is when you go through a point where, you know, we used to travel and you receive discount alerts or which restaurant is giving away bottomless champagne. These are the messages you will receive. You get on your phone while you're in the airport, you're getting messages from all kinds of brands. Salvatore Ferragamo's got a deal. Louis Vuitton is doing that. These are the type of messages during your traveling. You enjoying the idea of spending on duty free. Not anymore. Not anymore. You now live in a world while you sleeping, you get woken up by there could be a suspicious bomb activity. Please take charge. Like, this is crazy when you think where we are today. The world has changed, and I don't think this is sustainable. To the leaders of the world who cannot get over their differences, we can't subject humans to this type of we can't live like this. Is this where things should be? And all of this in the name of greed? To think this is sustainable, to think our kids are going to have to live in a world where it's no longer fun to have a microscope and you watch the stars while you're looking up, observing the beauty of the cosmic world. You might see missiles flying across. Is it really the world we want to live in? I mean, to think that we are here as mankind where we have accepted that it's okay to sit in front of your screen TV, having dinner with your family, while there are innocent kids that are being bombed on a day-to-day basis, and you can still have an appetite and continue with your plans to go fishing the next day. What has happened? What has happened to the fact that this is injustice on steroids? The fact that we're here and we've been climatized to accept it as nothing but just news. Think about it. We are now living in the days of Isaiah 40 verse 4. I want to remind every leader who has the executive rights to press whatever bomb or to decide who you bomb. I'm telling you now, I've seen kingdoms crumble. I'm telling you, to all of those who think you are in power forever, remember Isaiah 40 verse 4. Every hill will be made low. Your highest office will be brought to ashes, and every valley will be exalted. The underdogs will rise, and every crooked place will be made straight. I'm telling you now, this is the word. I didn't make it up. Isaiah 40 verse 4. And since we believe we're a Christian nation, and some of the perpetrators coming from the Christian nation, you got to think about what's going on across the world. There has to be a cohesive approach in saying this cannot continue. I thought the UN was there to regulate. I thought there are some bodies in the world that says, no, we cannot allow this level of injustice to continue. Certain things are done in the name of we want to bring democracy to a certain region, but democracy does not work in certain parts. There are places where what works in your own backyard is not going to work elsewhere, but that does not give you the executive rights to decide whose life you take. It cannot be. How do we continue? How do we live like this? How did we get here? I'm just saying, man. You know, one more thing I'm going to let off my chest before we get out of here. We're no longer having a debate. We're done. We are done. The greatest rapper proved it again, alive. The greatest rapper alive. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to give it to Jay-Z. The man is winning. He brought everybody on stage. We all know what happened. The reason why I'm having this conversation, the sad reality, when I saw some of the comments, there is nothing painful than people who aren't gifted having an opinion on how gifted people should demonstrate their craft. It is going to be painful when you criticize someone who's far gifted than you and you look for things that have nothing to do with their gift. Our point of engagement with Jay-Z is about his gift. Now, you read comments on people who have an opinion on things that are not related, it's got nothing to do with the gift. I generally feel there will never be a point where, as long as there's social media, which is helping to amplify the real you, thank God social media has helped us understand who people genuinely are. Progressive people see good in other people. Progressive people will only sow in you by what comes out of their mouth. It's no longer a debate who is the greatest of all time. Shout out to Jigga Man. What you did at the Yankee Stadium, I will be in Paris to watch the same show. To all the gifted people who are watching this show, understand this. You're going to be attacked, not because you are out there destroying mankind. No, you're going to be attacked because 99% of the people who watch and observe your gift have deficits in their own universe. And you are reminding them that they slept on their gift. When it was their time to show up, they chose not to. That's why the world is growing with envy. The root of envy is, I see who you've become. And I had the opportunity to either play in my own lane, become something that is equivalent to your greatness, but I spend my time criticizing you. And now that criticizing you is the only thing I have, taking shots at you is the only thing I have, I'm going to do it till I can rally support from all the losers in the world, because misery attracts company. But I want to thank you for being part of this show today, because you are not miserable. You took your time and hanged out with your boy, Tbo Touch. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Touch Uncensored, and I'm having a good time. May God bless you, and enjoy the rest of the final of the World Cup.